So I'll briefly go over the players then and their characters then, and I'll just do that. Jeremy is playing. I want to actually make sure I remember this off the top of my head. Robo Vurt, mathematician who controls blurbs, and Sean, who is in the top right, plays a Robo Man Vurt explorer who hyper processes, and Eddie is bringing Vurt Man speaker who works the room. Is that correct? Yes.
Yeah.
Very cool. Very cool. Yeah, so we've got DJ Weaver, who's the Vurt Man speaker, and we got Even One, who's our math magician, and we got Hack Martin, who's our explorer. So, yeah, so we're super excited about getting into this. I appreciate everyone for letting me know in chat. I didn't have it open and about the audio, but so the setting is unique. The Vurt setting is pretty crazy, but it's awesome too. There's lots of cool stories that can be told there, and the Vurt setting is kind of a mixed match of genres, sci-fi, that kind of thing. But the Vurt world runs parallel to ours. The Vurt world is a dream world where we can manipulate. This is set in the future, a dystopian kind of cyberpunk kind of corporates and kings rule the world, and people try to get a meager living during this existence. And so the characters try to find escapism by using these things called feathers to go out into the Vurt world. Their minds can slip away from their bodies and they can explore a whole other universe, find a bit of a escapism, if you will. And these people may find joy and thrill in exploring unknown places, experiencing things that previously have been unknown to them. And there's a bit of this is actually interesting. It reminds me of the '90s when video games and computer games were new, right? When you had shareware, right? And like people would pass around shareware. It reminds me of that. Remember how like when Doom first came out or something, it wasn't just like you bought the game. You bought it in shareware like pieces or like what do you call it, those little sets. You know? It's kinda like that with the feathers. You know, each feather is disposable. When you lose it turns like a cream color and it is no longer usable. So to find that escapism is disposable. You know, you enjoy it and then it's fleeting, it's gone. And that's part of I think connected to the escapism of the setting. So we went briefly over the setting, but now I'm gonna jump into who the characters are and who they're related to. Okay, so you're gonna hear some so this game takes place in Trafford. Trafford is a place in well, it's not in Manchester at the moment, but in the future it gets absorbed by Manchester. The game takes place in Trafford, and I hope I get the accents and everything right and do my best. But Trafford is where Parker and Windbury Estates is. Now, Windbury Estates, it sounds like this fancy place, right, with the name Estates, but it's one of those, like, it used to be an estate, it used to be fancy sounding, but it's just a rundown tenement, okay? And Parker he's kind of made this his home, and he takes in young people, young boys and young girls and things and people like that kind of found lost in society, and they need a start, you know, they need a leg up. And that's kind of what he does, Parker has done. And he's helped all these players in some way. Even if he didn't take them in, the player characters, he's helped them in some way. They've had a relationship. So Parker is core to where the game begins. But we're gonna start on well, I'll just make it random. Let's see, I'll just pick Sean. Sean, we're gonna start on you, old buddy. So
Okay.
you're Robo Van Vurt. Why don't we if the screen was black and it came down to you, the massive city-state, the 65 million people, skyscrapers and everything, if the camera zoomed in on you from above, what would the camera see? What do you look like?
So, he's got two arms and two legs, excuse me. Pretty much looks human. He has yellow flecked eyes, which sort of indicate that he has a little bit of Vurt in him, I guess. with sort of like a metallic sheen to his skin, indicating sort of the Robo-Man aspect. Um,
Oh, that's cool. Yeah.
yeah.
Does there like I put it if you look in the book, you can kind of see examples of what Robo-Man look like. And there's
Mm-hmm.
kind of like these like seams, and stuff maybe.
Yeah.
Do you have
Yeah.
anything like that, or is it more of a clean type thing, or is it
No, yeah, like his arms are very clearly
robotic?
yeah.
Yeah. Very cool. Very good. It's also a good time to mention actually that you are half, or at least part autogen, right? The term robo is used, but it's actually a slang term. And robo
Okay.
people don't tend to like that term. They don't like hate it, but you would probably prefer to yourself as part autogen, if that makes any
Okay.
sense. Uh, and if
What does
someone
that
really
mean?
wanted to say something bad about a robo person, they'd call you a machine. So,
Okay.
yeah. But yeah, so okay, sorry. Continue to describe yourself. What is it like? What kind of garb is he wearing? What is he doing on the street?
Um, okay. So he he's just wearing like jeans um and a sweatshirt.
Mhm.
So he pretty much is dressed very casually most of the time. Um, and I mean, really, I would say he probably doesn't have a job. He spends most of his time. I mean, most people would consider him to be like unemployed basement dweller. He spends most of his time like on the internet or the matrix or whatever constitutes that. That's pretty much his entire existence is hacking into things, uh, cruising around, trying to steal data.
All right.
He'll pick up odd jobs every now and then if somebody, something hacked into or stolen, like data wise.
Yeah. Yeah.
But other than that, I mean, yeah, I mean, that's pretty much his entire life. He's not really concerned about, holding a 9 to 5 job or
Yeah.
anything.
Yeah.
So,
Very cool. Very cool. So when it comes to hacking, by the way, I don't. I'm not exactly clear on a lot of things, which I'll get more clear on. But what you'd probably do most time hacking wise is you'd probably be using feathers most of the time to communicate to people and that kind of stuff, your PDFs
mhm.
and that kind of thing. Uh, but you're mostly physically hacking, I imagine, like physically
Right.
hacking, because feathers have kind of taken over where the internet used to be, right?
Mhm.
Or at least where the internet was in its infancy in our world. Uh,
Mhm.
I'm sure networks exist, but it's
Right.
more of a physical thing, kind of like Shadowrun 2050s kind of thing, I think. So, you on
Right.
board? All right, cool. But you do have abilities that allow you to go out further ranges with your hacking. So I'm sure there's at least some form of stuff like that. So so when we zoom in on your character, you're actually coming out of a Slick City. Slick City is a feather store chain. I believe for Chimera Corp. Uh, don't remember off the top of my head. Anyways, you're coming out of the store, and you got your hand in your pocket, and you're just fiddling with the blue feather you've just
Mhm.
purchased from there, and
Mhm.
uh, and so you're heading down the street, and you're in Trafford, and you see a purist. Well, you recognize him. He's a purist in this region. He's a gang member, and which means he's human purist, pure human, and he is standing outside Winbury Estates having words with Parker. Very vehement and vitriolic words. Uh, and you can't hear, you're too far away, but you see that something is transpiring here. Parker, to describe him, Parker is I'd probably say, I guess, early senior. Uh, Ebony skinned man, wears glasses, his hair fading, uh, gray topped head. Doesn't wear the best of clothes because he's just like you. He's never really had a whole lot of money. Just gets by. Uh, he doesn't do it because he's wealthy. He does it because he has a kind heart. And uh,
Mhm.
and so this other human is in his face having words with him. Like I said, you're too far away to hear the words, and that's what you're seeing happening in front of you. Now, let's skip to inside. Inside, the camera fades and appears inside the tenement, and you're in a room, even one, at a sort of bed, and a she's kind of she looks very alien. Uh, a Vurt being. She's got kind of like large eyes, kind of like Nautilin's from Star Wars, and she's got like a greenish, kind of orangish skin tone, and patches of scales, and she's got hair and stuff. And her name is Galani, and you know her, and she's looking over your arm, and why don't you? And you're up on the table, and she's examining your condition right now. Why don't you describe your character to us? You're muted.
Eventually, I'll remember that.
See, I'm not the only one who has audio issues. Mine just cost us more time. So.
So mostly a humanoid robot, but got more of a like rectangle face, one camera-looking eye, a little bit bigger than the other, something like that. But recently was in the Vurt in a feather and got something weird virusy, and so I'm now part Vurt, and so my left arm has ceased being quite so much robotic as it is kind of golden and is more of a tentacle with some tentacly fingers kind of a thing going on, and that's new to me, and that's confused.
Yeah, before you were just synth and flesh, right? So I mean, it's all new to you, you know.
Exactly.
Actually, you were just all synth. Yeah, you weren't.
Yeah.
You were straight autogen. You probably still consider yourself autogen, correct? Like you're just like, this new thing is not me, you know.
Well, yeah. I mean, I think I'm. It's. I've realized it's definitely a part of me, whether I want it or not.
Yeah.
But because it seems to be taking over more of me, I guess is the idea. So yeah, I'm just asking her, like, you ever seen anything like this before?
Yeah.
What's, you know,
and,
what is
and
going on?
At this moment, I want you to. What was it? How many sessions you have? I know we're probably not gonna go till your thing ends, probably.
Right.
Because that's a lot of sessions. But we'll see, right? We'll see. So roll that thing as she's examining you, and she's gonna tell you. And Eddie, do me a favor, since we're having issues with Fantasy Grounds. Make sure I communicate to you what gets rolled and stuff if you don't. Okay, so it's 1d. 1d6
I think it's 1d6
plus 4, right? Is it 4?
I will tell you momentarily. Manvert. Oh, come on.
Yeah.
Where'd it
I'm
go?
putting you on the spot, man.
Well, I know, and there it is. D6 plus 10.
Oh yeah, that's what it was. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. So you wrote so it's actually, even if we don't like make it 12 sessions, I mean we might if we really enjoy it, obviously. But
Sure.
But keeping track that number in it, because it can kind of like maybe in the narrative describe how Vurt you become, because it's like it's like you're becoming. I'll say that you're becoming more Vurt and also kind of dying. So and so she looks at your wounds and says, or your, well, I wouldn't call it wounds, your new state of being, your new mode of being, and she says, I'm sorry, you're not the same anymore. not good.
No, it's not. What the hell?
She says, I'm sorry. It's you will become more like me, but your body won't take this well.
Yes, I know that's why I'm here already, but like you don't know a way to stop it or slow it down
It's
or,
it's not stoppable.
starting to panic sort of a
When you
thing.
when 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 a robo, sorry, she says when an autogen, when his body starts transforming to live flesh, live drug, it starts breaking down the autogen.
So, do you have any idea how long this could take?
Considering you're the first I've examined with this condition, no. I'm sorry.
Okay.
This is like starting the movie with the person in the doctor's room telling them they have cancer, right?
Exactly.
That's exactly what it is, you know. All right, so we'll assume that like you let her finish examining you, and like
Yeah.
you at some point overhear that there's a conversation going on outside between Parker and an individual. Okay.
Check.
All right. And but there's a few moments right there between when you're getting examined and silence. What does your character do? Like while she's finishing up, what is your character doing mentally? What is he thinking? What?
So he's just trying to come to grips with the idea of a much shorter lifespan and going through the I don't believe this. Well, no, I believe this because I see it, but she's got to be wrong. There's got to be a way to fix it. I just got to
Yeah.
find the thing,
Yeah.
and that would probably make me think of a hack and be like, he finds things, he gets information. I'll
That's
I'll see
true.
what
You
he
could
can do.
figure this out maybe. That's true. All right, so when that last thought goes through your head about hack, that's when you hear one of the kids in the one of the other rooms in the tenement um, say something like, "Parker's outside. What's going on?" And so that will kind of bring you into this scene, and you can choose where you jump in a scene.
Okay.
And so if you were there, Eddie, if let me rephrase that, if DJ Weaver was there at Parker's, what would be his purpose there? Like maybe he's handing out some lucid blues to people to disperse. Like what's his reason for being here? Or does he still
Well,
live
I
here?
guess yeah. I'm guessing since I'm starting to get I don't want to say my business, but getting my music out and whatnot. I'm just going about the city and finding places that want to move it and share it with people. I do live there, but I tend to go out from time to time to sort things out.
Yeah, yeah. I got a question. Your character probably, at least we discussed this. You've actually been mostly raised by Parker, correct?
Yes, correct.
Okay. Does part of that connect to why you spend time here? Like, does this feel like home to you almost with all this like revolving number of kids and stuff and like?
Yeah, I'm guessing my character's torn apart between actually taking over after I don't know Parker like gets sick or old or dies, and part of him wants to just like be a rock star and play music in places, and he's kind of like torn apart between those two, but he stays for
Right,
now.
right, right. And two, maybe you think you like even when you do make it big, right? Maybe you could help Parker in other ways, like financially or something. Up to you.
Oh yeah, yeah, for
Yeah.
sure. Yeah, it's not like I'm gonna bail forever if I
Right,
do get
right.
famous.
So, okay. So you're in one of the main areas, and maybe well, since this is your home, maybe you're just doing normal stuff, right? I mean, maybe you're just like tapped into your PDF, just kind of doing some things maybe, or just eating dinner with some of the other kids that are still there, or something like that kind of thing.
Yeah, probably like serving dinner and doing dishes at the same time or
Oh, cool,
something.
cool. So, yeah, you're doing
And
that,
just like,
and so you hear in the other eating room as well that the kids start talking about. And by the way, it's a good time to mention these kids are very few of them are like pures, right? At least let me rephrase that: pure human. They're they're cast out types like Vurt and Shadow mixed modes, dog mixed modes. Mostly Vurt and Shadow mixed modes because Trafford is not that far from places like Turdsville or like or the kennel where a dog person would find more at home. But shadow modes and Vurt modes and stuff like that, especially mixed, would find a home here, especially given what's going on outside. Okay, so one of the kids says something about what's going on outside, and you hear it just barely over, spraying some dishes off, and so Sean, you're seeing this from a distance, a confrontation. Sean, what do you do?
Um, I just walk over there,
Okay,
and
are you Are you walking briskly or just normal pace?
normal.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, by the time you get there, it seems like the scene is kind of de-escalating, right?
Hmm.
They're more discussing, but they're still in each other's faces. And at this point you would have heard if they were yelling, but they're speaking now, and the 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 pure human, covered in LED tattoos and a mohawk on his head, just walks away, pointing his finger violently in Parker's face, and steps down the road towards his motorbike. And so when you approach, it's just Parker by himself, standing there, hands in his pockets. Well, first he pushes his glasses up to his face, and he looks a worried look on his face. And as I said before, he's like an ebony-skinned man, kind of thin-framed, and a little bit on the older side, and gray hair, but he keeps himself well. So he's got like a plaid shirt, but it's like buttoned in and belted up, and he
Hmm.
just takes care of himself. But he just sticks his hands in his pocket, and you see a worried or anxious look on his face, and he looks at you and puts his hand on your shoulder and says, "How are you today?"
Uh, Not too bad. You mind if I ask what's going on?
And he looks around and he says, "You're not gonna like it, but let's come on inside, please. We're preparing food. Come eat with us."
All right. I
All right. So
return.
you guys, so the two of you that were inside and overheard this kind of what's happening, you're coming out and you made it to the main room as Parker comes in. Uh, Now we've introduced all three of you. All three of you are here to describe this room. This is kind of so as I said, this is an entire tenement. This estate is it's been forgotten, best I can say. Does that make sense? Like Trafford, huge parts of Trafford have been forgotten. Real estate has basically no value. The reason it has lights on is because someone rigged up a way for it to have lights on. Uh, and so he's kind of converted like the first floor into kind of like mixed living areas and stuff. But it's not just him and a bunch of he's not like the foster father to just a bunch of kids by himself. There are families that live here, and they kind of fall under his protection. He doesn't really have any protection, more as reputation and kind of power in that sense. Uh, but he's not a violent man, um, and and so you're seeing this room that's just kind of like it's like old beat up chairs and taped up couches and maybe like big wooden spools for like cables and stuff used as coffee tables, and they've got food scattered about in bowls and such, and so Eddie, your character DJ Weaver kind of comes into the main room with the last batch of food and sets a big pot on the table and sees everyone now in. Does anybody interject and say anything before I describe more?
I think this would be the perfect time to um, showcase my special ability. It's not mechanically advantages, but actually my forearms kind of split in the middle to reveal kind of like suckers inside, so I can actually use uh my two forearms as four hands basically.
So are you like
So
balancing like bowls and stuff on your four hands as you're setting things down when you
yeah,
come in? That's cool. That's cool. All right.
yeah, and like my skin is actually like kind of like ash gray with glitter. You know that magnetic blob,
Yes.
like the way it
Yes.
looks, kind of like that, yeah.
Very
And
cool.
yellow eyes, so pretty much
Of
more
course.
Vurt
Yes.
than man.
Like you may have like maybe more since you have more vert in you. Like you might just have like straight up yellow eyes or at least some variation. But Sean's might be
Oh
like
yeah, for sure.
you see it only in a certain light, kind of like Blade Runner with the
Yeah, yeah. Think
replicant
of
type thing. Yeah.
like my physical form. Think of it like Ape from Hellboy.
Oh, okay.
Kind of like
Oh, okay.
kind
Cool.
of look
Yeah.
kind of like that. Yeah, with like the big eyes and whatnot,
Okay.
but ash gray and
Very
stuff.
cool. All right. Cool. Sweet. So yeah, you're coming in and bringing out bowls and stuff, and Parker looks to you and gives you a nod of approval and for your help, and but doesn't say much. And now it's a good time to mention that all your characters are adults, right? You're part of this kind of surrogate family because of recent events, but you're you're still you're still adults as opposed to the youth or younger people in this tenement. And so he just kind of looks at all of you and then just walks to another room. You know how people try to say a lot without saying words, and he goes to another room and he gets you inside this room and he says, "Thank you for helping me with the kids, Weaver. He says we have to. I have to show you something, and be warned. I'm just warning you. I don't think you will all like it, but you know how I am. I I can't see. I can't stand to see someone suffer." And as he's saying this, he's walking down the hall to an apartment, and he draws out a key. And actually, it's probably on the like a second or third floor or something. So he starts leading you guys up the stairs in the tenement because of course the elevator doesn't work anymore, right? I mean, uh, and uh, and so he gets to the second or third floor and he uses this key, which is an old school key, and uh, and the door slides open and you see a dark figure on a poorly maintained bed, twin bed, in the corner, and the smell hits you at first. It's a strong whiff. It's a strong whiff, and in the darkness, you guys can make out there is an NVL in the corner, a zombie in the corner. He's just sitting at his bed. Uh, he's kind of up. He's kind of sitting up. His elbows on his knees, and he's looks like he's just anxious and he doesn't know what to do. He doesn't look like the kind of zombie you see in most fiction, right? Think more like Ghoul from Fallout than actual zombie in the sense that he seems to have some sort of like sentience, right? So Jeremy, I think you tried to speak up but you were muted.
No, I just didn't say anything. I was gonna ask, like, what does? Tell me what that is. It's something our
Yeah,
characters would
it's
have an idea of.
yeah, I guess your characters would know who it is. Well, what it is.
Well, I mean, not who. I meant
yeah.
like the zombie thing.
Right. It's U-type Shadow Man. NVL zombie are different phrases. NVL stands for non-viable life form. They are they're what happens when humans mate with the dead. Essentially, they're zombies. They're born. They live, but they're also decaying at the same time. So as their body regenerates as fast as it loses flesh. So and they're constantly in like a state of necrosis kind of thing, like a ghoul might or something from D&D or something. I don't know, but yeah, they look like a zombie. But he's like wearing normal clothes, right? He looks like he's trying to like fit in, and so Parker kind of ushers you all in, and then shuts the door quietly behind him, and he says, "Yeah, NVLs are people too. That's right. That's a matter of opinion. It's a matter of opinion in the setting, actually." Depends on who you are, right? That's why they have the name NVL, non-viable. But yeah, so you actually a good time actually for you to decide as individuals what term you use. Do you call them zombies? Do you call them NVLs? Do you call them U-types? Up to you personally. Any of those are okay. But
Think
I'm sure you all have questions because NVLs are not typically allowed in Manchester. NVLs are kind of the one mode that's still like people are like you know, and they don't want them in common society. I mean, there's tons of them around Limbo outside the city that do not get in and won't in all the time. So how do you? He looks at you all a moment and waiting to see how you guys respond to this.
how did a U type cross the border?
Well, apparently came in through Trafford, hidden on a rover fare. Rover fare is they rode the canals, uh, snuck his way onto a rover boat, rode the canals up to the city,
Mm-hmm.
pretty much. And so Parker says he came through the canals, hiding among the rovers. I'm sure he had to pay quite a penny to get that worked in his favor. But once he got here, I spotted him out in the open, plain as day. Not doing a very good job of integrating, and I couldn't bear to see something bad happen to him. What with all the purist gangs and stuff in this area. So, well, with the purist gang in this area. He says, "I know what you're thinking. I know you're thinking this is dumb, but and I knew it was dumb as soon as I found him. But he's not gonna be here long. I know better than to try to harbor a U type. The problem is that one of the purists, the purgers, already saw him, or at least there's rumors about him being here. I haven't figured out how to solve this problem yet."
Do we know somewhere else he could go for a bit? Um,
He says, "I know someone who might take him, but I'm not certain yet. It might take convincing."
look over at him and ask, so why'd you come into the city in the first place?
Because Limbo is no place for a person to live. I found a way through. I would have taken more of my brothers with me and sisters, but well, it would have been hard to stay on a rover, hide in a rover canal or rover boat in large numbers. I hope to come here and make friends and maybe get more of my kind through. There's no reason why we should be exiled beyond the walls. None of you are I can tell by looking at you, none of you are pure human. None of you are human, except for Parker here. You have to have it in your heart to at least see some justification of my cause.
So out of character, why were they all shoved out? Like, was there a reason, or is it just straight up racism?
Um, Mostly straight up modism. Yeah, I mean
Yeah.
there were things that have happened in the past, but your character might not know them. Unless, well, what's your knowledge skills?
Vurt, not history. What is it? Mathemagic, the knowledge about the blurb flies, so engemology and then vertology.
Okay. All right.
Vurt, so
Cool. Yeah, no, none of your skills would be applicable for the situation. So, you just know
like
that it's mostly modism. And if
Okay.
it was a legitimate reason, it was a long time ago, right? Now it's not. Now it's not near legitimate, right? So, yeah.
We're just used to it, sort of thing.
Yeah, it's just considered normal, right? I mean, even some of the modes, like your modes, can't get drip feed, right? So if you're a human, you can get on drip feed, and Manchester will give you money every day to have some sort of a life for yourself, perhaps. In fact, it's a special ability humans can get. But if you're another mixed mode, you can't even get it. So there is a bit of modism still in place in the structure of Manchester. So, yeah, fun stuff. But he looks at Sean's character and he says, "I know you have something to say. I know our relationship is more business these days, but I couldn't turn this guy down." Parker says that. My bad.
Yeah. I'm like, no, that wouldn't have been the right thing to do.
I'm surprised. Well, look, if you don't want to help me with this problem, that's understandable. I can handle this. But I have a couple of other things I was gonna. The reason why I called you here. The greenhouse. The greenhouse upstairs. We're having an issue with the machinery. It's not working right. It's not working right. We're not getting the right CO2 levels into the greenhouse, and I need you to look at the equipment, or someone to look at the equipment.
I want to look at the U type, and I'll ask him. Let me see if I can get this accent right. I'll ask him, would you like something to eat?
Doing much better than me. And in fact, I didn't even try it yet. I'm working up to it. He says, "Yes, I'd love something."
Um, anything in particular?
This is anything tastes better than what I've eaten in limbo.
All right, I'll cook something up, and then I just
Thank
walk
you.
away back to the kitchen.
Yeah. Very cool. All right. So, and at that moment, unless someone interjects, he says, and the conversation out front, they don't know anything yet, or at least I don't think they do. I think they suspect, and so they're threatening. They're giving me a chance to show him before they take action. Now, and he says, apparently there's new leadership with the Purgers, and he doesn't see my place in Trafford as valuable anymore. Because what's happening in Trafford is the Pure gangs have the most power. They're the largest. The Pure gang is the largest gang in Trafford right now, or at least in this area of Trafford, and there's a bit of respect that's been held for for Parker because he's ex MPD, right? I mean, which is which might seem odd, but he's also pure human, right? But so there's a bit of respect that's kind of gone on in the past, but now new leadership is there, younger leadership, and they won't stand by this kind of thing. It's pretty much the gist of it. All right. And so
Yeah, kind of like new school versus old school.
that's right.
Like,
That's
oh,
right.
you don't have any power anymore,
That's right.
Grandpa.
He had OG respect. Parker did, but not to the new guys in the gang. You know, very good comparison. All right. Yeah. So you find some food in the kitchen that you had left over, right? That you were gonna put in maybe the fridge or something and like use it for later or mix it in something else, and you bring it out to him.
Yeah, basically grab a little bit of everything, so
There you go.
I can
Throw it
see
all in
what
a
he
pot
picks.
together and make a big stew type of thing. Just
Yeah.
very cool. All right, cool. Yeah, so getting it all and bringing it all into him. And so what are you guys thinking about this? Because Parker's kind of silent. He's still apprehensive about this entire situation and how everybody's going to react to it because it's not cool to keep a U-type.
Honestly, my character is probably just standing there thinking and cycling through his own problems, this guy's problems, and like, how do we just get rid of both of the problems without screwing everybody in the rest of the house, but not having any idea.
So it's all in his head.
Yeah.
All right. Okay. Do you guys have anything that skill wise that could help you work on, say, the greenhouse above? The equipment in the greenhouse?
Let me check real quick.
I have electronics.
You have electronics? Okay. What about you, Jeremy? I know you have some skills.
I've got a tool set for blurb flies. I know how to work on blurb flies. So
okay. Actually, make a you know what? I'll make a. Okay, so this actually will be our first roll for the game, and the players will learn together about rolling.
Yes.
Okay, so Jeremy, this is going to be a difficulty 4 action. Difficulty 4 action, which means it's a target number 12. Okay, and you can apply your blurb fly to it, and you could also roll effort if you wanted to. It is a knowledge roll, though, just completely to give you information. Up to you. What you do. So, it's an intellect roll, by the way. Intellect.
Yeah. So, okay. I forgot to read up on the effort things beforehand.
Well, effort would if you wanted to spend effort, you'd spend 3 points for the first level effort, which level 1 character, tier 1 character can only do. But if you have edge, that 3 points is reduced by your edge.
Check.
So, yeah. And that would pull 3 from the appropriate pool for the task. So it's an intellect task, intellect pool. Okay.
Let's just try and roll intellect.
Yeah, so if you just do intellect and you're adding your blur fly in there, that makes your target difficulty 9 instead of 12.
Okay.
All right, roll.
So there we go. Yeah.
Bam. Okay. Okay, so you got a minor effect, which is pretty cool. Okay. Okay, so minor effect can be anything. In this case, I'll just throw in a little bit of recipe in there, right? Something to make it a little cooler. And what you find out is, what you think about at least, comes to the realization of, is you know that he said the equipment's failing in the greenhouse, and maybe in narrative we'll say that you and Hack, even one and Hack, are already heading upstairs. And Weaver, are you going to go up there with them? At least, are you concerned about the greenhouse? Well, actually, you might be, because you're like the chef, right? Because if the greenhouse ain't working, you ain't getting fresh food, right?
Yeah, I just
that actually worked out great.
The plate of...
planned that. But okay.
Yeah, I deliver the plate and just go up with them.
Okay. All right, cool. So you guys all go up to the greenhouse, and this is on the top floor of the tenement, which means it's a long climb. We'll say it's about 8 floors to the top, and so maybe to make things simpler, maybe like the elevator works, but only works from like between like certain floors, right? Like they got a replacement cable and it's not long enough to go all the way to the bottom, maybe at some point. And
Mhm.
and so your characters take your way up the up the elevator, and then you head up the roof, and he's constructed a greenhouse on the roof. Pretty much takes the entire roof up, and he has some equipment and stuff to keep CO2 and things pumping in there, and keep because I don't know if you know anything about greenhouses, but they have a higher level of CO2 than the area around them, much higher, and uh, and so he kind of takes you over by the equipment, and good time to mention the greenhouse is full of nothing gorgeous, nothing like flowers or nothing ostentatious. It's purely for growing food. It's all food. Uh, and he takes you over the equipment, and you're looking at it even one, and you know that you can't help as far as mechanically, right? It's not anything like entomology and blurred flies, but you begin thinking, what if I could rig blurb flies up with something to help disperse CO2 inside the greenhouse, at least in intervals. And I'll say that you think you know someone who would have the right equipment for that. That was your minor effect. That's what I love about games like this, where you have like minor effects and major effects. The story goes in places you didn't expect. So, okay, all right. And so Sean, you're looking at this equipment, and you said you're mostly electrical, right? Your stuff is
Yes,
okay.
electrical and computers.
Okay. So yeah, so electrical and computers. Okay, yeah. All right. So I'll say it's a hard check to it's a hard check to get this thing working, right? I mean, it's you could if you roll good enough, you could get it working now. Oh, I just noticed too. Thank you, M. Rachelson, for the host. We appreciate it. Every little bit counts. Uh, but Sean, you know that you can get it working, but regardless, it's only going to be hobbling through. Okay. You
Hmm.
can look at it and tell that the electronics are not where they need to be, right? So why don't you make you can make an electronics check. Sorry, intellect task. I keep talking like in D&D language. An intellect task, difficulty 7. Now that means if you don't modify it in any way, you got to meet a 21, which is impossible. 21. But you're going to modify it by adding electronics, which brings it down to a target number of 18. Okay? All right. Now, do you want to spend intellect from your pool to try to make this task succeed?
Yes.
Okay.
How do I do that?
Yeah. So what you would do is you would. I'm looking at something here. Hold on. Yes, you're going to go over here to where your electronics are in Fantasy Grounds. And by the way, this is a good time to mention to the people watching the stream. You notice that the desktop is not Roll20 or something. I know most people use Roll20. We use Fantasy Grounds for our games, and so this is Fantasy Grounds. It's a little different, but we like it a lot. Anyways, Sean, you can see by your skills where it says electronics, you see the T for trained. There's what's
Hmm.
called assets and modifiers.
Hmm.
I think I think what you'll do is you'll just you'll just add them just mark asset. Mark right there where it says asset, put 1 in there.
Okay.
Yeah, and just roll electronics. Okay, unfortunately, you didn't roll high enough. So
Okay.
what you'll do is you'll take points from your intellect pool. It's normally 3, but if you have edge in intellect, you I think you do have edge in intellect. No, you don't. You don't. You're
No,
magnet speed. Yeah. So
it's
you're gonna
mine.
take off 3. There you go. So what you do is you check right here. It's your max and your current.
Hmm.
I fixed it for you. Change your
Okay.
14 down to 11. So
Okay.
you tried to burn intellect. So it actually takes you quite a bit of time looking this over, right? And it starts to frustrate you perhaps a little bit. And in the end, ultimately, you don't think you can fix it. You need to replace parts to get the
Okay.
thing running. It needs new equipment for that difficulty to go down. So,
Oh,
all right, yeah. So, but it was a good try because you could have kept food going for the kids and everything here. But now they're gonna all starve, Sean.
fine.
All
Fine.
right, jeez. No, you tried.
No,
Man.
I tell them
Oh, man.
and I offer to like find parts or something like that.
Yeah.
Well, if you once you say that you got to find parts, I'll explain to you. Hey, I think I've got an idea about
Okay.
butterflies and helping, but
Okay.
I would also have to get parts from a guy.
Okay, so that's actually some things you can follow, but also you know that parts and things like this cost money, which nobody has.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So
I saw that disappear from my character
yeah,
sheet
just
at
went,
one point.
yeah. You saw the GM take it away as I added things to your sheet. I didn't take his money, Stream. I gave him things, but I
Yes,
exchanged it with his money.
yes, you
Yes,
did.
but yeah. So yeah, you guys and Parker is like while you're looking at this, Sean. What do you tell Parker? Like let's have that first person discussion. What do you tell him about your examination of the equipment?
It's like, hey man, look, I spent like 2 hours going over this thing from one end to the other, and I can tell you like these parts are just fried. They have to be like, I mean, you've got a blown capacitor.
He says, "Well, that's just great. We don't have any money."
Electrical.
He says, "We don't have any money. What spare I get, I give to the kids. You know."
Yeah, no, I get it, but so I tell him like roughly, I don't know, maybe I can make like an intellect check, and this is probably how much that's going to be.
No, I'll say that you know how much it's gonna be. It's gonna be in the it's gonna be in the it's in the 1,000 to 10,000. Well, I'm gonna pick. Yeah, I'll say expensive range, 1,000 quid range. So, yeah, yeah, to fix this equipment, or at least to get the parts to replace the equipment. And he says, well, I've done it in the past. I don't like to do it, but maybe we can make some income on the side selling feathers. I just need to get some. But if you if if you all have ways of generating money, that I'd be most gracious. Although I can't ask you to do that. You don't live here. You don't. Well, some of you don't. But either the purists will come in here and drag out all the kids who aren't human, or we'll run out of food. He just kind of shakes his head and cleans his glasses.
Okay.
I'd, I'd say we could do like a like a fundraiser, like get some blurbs with the word out, like I don't know, I'll perform live or something, like
Yeah,
after all these years or something like that.
yeah, that's true. No one's ever seen you live. Like you can like hype it up, be like, see the face behind the blurb. You know. All right. Yeah, you could do something like that. I mean, he's been a touch on the community. You know, maybe you could rig something up like that. You know, you'd have to pay for which is hilarious. You'd have to pay for the to get the word out with blurbs and contracts and stuff. But or you could get Jeremy to just hook up some blurbs and on some blurb flies and tell the district something like that. But it's definitely not a bad idea because he's touched the lives of lots of people in this region, people that aren't human. You know. One second, hold on.
Yeah, I definitely think advertising is the way to go, and um, I don't know.
Keep in mind, people that live on the bottom, like you guys, they aren't often. Well, sometimes they are. you guys don't have to be law-abiding citizens, right? I mean, you can do things that most everything a mixed mode does is considered illegal, anyways. But you know, something to consider. You know, Weaver,
we
you
can
know
steal
that
stuff.
sometimes Parker participates in feathers, selling feathers and trading feathers. Okay, but he sticks to blues and occasionally blacks. He
What
never
does that
deals
mean?
pink feathers. He never deals pink feathers, and he never deals blacks to kids, to youth. But he's willing to trade blue and black feathers.
Okay.
And I'm not talking about lucid blues. I'm talking about like all the way out VR unconscious blues. All right.
So I'm gonna Shane. Here's what I'm thinking. My family owns a small pharmaceutical corp that's known for its good drugs and fair prices.
All right.
Somehow through that, do I think I could find some, I don't know, off drugs or something like that, more profitable that could be sold to, I don't know.
Are we talking like you want to trade in heart pills, or do you want to trade in like Cortex jammers? Which is
Let's go with that one.
I mean,
the more dangerous one. How about that?
I mean, I'm just asking you. All right. Okay. Okay. Actually, let's look up this stuff. Actually, go into the cipher section, and I'll let you decide. In ciphers, there might even be a section about drugs that you can look into. What drug in particular they trade, or what drug in particular you think you can find a connection to.
Cool.
I believe it's in drugs are also they also fall under ciphers in the book, which ciphers start on page 361 in the PDF.
Cool.
360 if you're looking at that physical book. And I believe in the Dungeon Master section it talks about, let's see. Drugs.
Yeah, let's get some feathers going. Maybe some psychedelic show blue blacks.
Yeah.
Mostly blue, I guess.
Yeah, I mean if you you're a speaker. The speaker get any abilities to like know people, right? What are your skills?
Let me see.
Because I don't have your sheet yet because of all the troubles we've had.
Yeah, I think I have pretty much most of it written down. I'm charismatic, so I'm trained in persuasion, performing, resisting temptation. But apparently, just by being a speaker, I should be able to talk my way out of things and into things.
Talk your way into things? Is it more
Yeah,
specific than that?
For a benefit.
Okay. Okay. Then tell you what we'll do. You guys got kind of two avenues here, right? You can maybe sell drugs, or you could sell illegal feathers, or bootleg feathers, if you will. So Jeremy, this is what you'll have to do if you're gonna convince someone that's connected to your family. Like maybe you have a name, and like maybe you don't want to contact your parents, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Maybe you just want to a person that was a little shadier at the office,
Exactly.
like that guy.
I'm thinking that's
right.
where I've got my one dose of Cortex jammers already.
Okay. That's right. You have Cortex jammers. Do you
use
that stuff, or does your character just have it?
I think he just has it because you never know when something crazy is gonna happen, and you just need to think faster.
Okay. All right. So So you think you can score some Cortex jammers from? We'll give him a name. We'll say Seamus. Seamus. That sound good?
I like it.
Very Irish. Is that Irish? Scottish? No.
Irish.
Thank you, Sean. So Seamus, yeah, can hook you up with some, but you'll have to convince him because you're not very charismatic. You're not very good at the talking thing. Okay, but DJ Weaver, okay, so Weaver, you can maybe score some feathers. Maybe the guy who make an intellect test to see if, and you can add anything like social interaction with it to see if you've interacted with someone that you think could hook you up with bootleg feathers.
Who's rolling for me?
Yeah, I'll actually. Yeah, can one of you guys claim his character sheet? By the way, oh, it's already claimed by him. I'll unclear it, and then one of you guys just claim DJ Weaver for me,
Yeah, I can
and
get it.
and then we'll roll from him. Okay, so you're gonna have Eddie, you're gonna have some skills to add in there, and so you've got a what was it? What did you say it was? A social interactions, correct?
Mhm.
Okay, and was just one skill you think can be relevant for this, or is there two?
Let me see. I do have. What is it? Is it fast talk? Let me see. Mm, yeah, I mean, it is for like speaking. Like, if I'm already speaking with someone and I want to know like a specific detail or something, then I could get something out of them. But I'm guessing it
This
works
will be
only
a
if I'm
roll
talking
to
to
see if you
someone
know
already.
someone, and then we could apply that one, right? When you actually have the
Okay. Okay.
conversation.
Sure.
Yeah. But okay, so you have one level of training and a skill that's appropriate. So we're going to roll.
A
That,
trained
and
skill.
yes, I'm gonna put it in the sheet. I'm just gonna call it
Oh,
social right now until we get your character finished. And do you want to apply effort to this, Weaver, to know someone?
Sure thing. Yeah.
Okay.
Seems important.
Important. It is pretty important, I guess. Okay, so I'll say it's a difficulty. No, it's not hard for you. We'll say 4. Do you sure you want to still spend? Can't talk. Still spend effort. So target number 12 and reduce it by 2, so it becomes target number of 6. You want to do it?
Yeah.
Okay. Let's see. Bam. Okay. You made it. Target number 6, all you needed. Nice. Wow, perfect. Effort actually made you make it. So, yeah, so you know a guy. You know a guy. He's actually one of the ones that told you about the legal guy that put together Lucid Blues for you. You know that he sometimes trades in blues, bootleg blues, and blacks when he can get a hold of them. So, blacks are a little bit harder to get a hold of. So, but and we'll say his name is or
Yeah.
her name is Chrissy. Her name is Chrissy,
Crazy. Okay.
and she's a shadow goth.
Oh.
Yeah, Chrissy Shadow Goth. All right. Yeah.
Crazy.
All right. So we've got a couple of connections here that can possibly get us some income to help, and plus you can still do the fundraiser. And so you guys are already way off of what little script I had. So I didn't have much, but okay. So, and I'll say that Chrissy, the Shadow Goth girl, uh, you you know that she's part of the Rovers, and she comes in with the Rover fairs when they ride down the canals. And you know that Saturday, which is 4 days from now, the Rover Fair will land in this district. It'll stop and stay for about 4 or 5 hours. People will buy and trade, and then they'll start moving again. And for someone who doesn't understand the setting, by the way, Rover Fair is just basically Rovers are kind of a gang. Really not. They're just a group of people who live together and they're kind of nomadic. And they live up and down the waterways. There's tons of waterways in this Manchester of the future. And they often come down River Mersey and its canals, and they live on these flat boats. And every so often they stop. And it's illegal for them to actually stop and like like tie off to the town and like let people on because they're not even supposed to be there. They're illegal. But they do it anyways in certain districts because MPD does not give a shit. Like it's like the least of their concerns. So people just trade for about 4 or 5 hours, and then they take off. So you know that Chrissy is part of the Rovers, and she's going to be on this Rover Fair. Well, the Rover Fair is what you call an event when they stop and they moor and people trade. So she'll be on the flatboats come Saturday midday. But you've got 4 days to try other avenues. Okay? So you can
So let me just
sorry, go ahead.
it's cool. I was just gonna say like say it in character like well I could talk to Chrissy but it's not till Saturday.
Well, I may know a guy that we could try and find some, I don't know, stuff that fell off the shelf. And if we know somebody that is looking for any sort of pharmaceuticals, but like I know him, but I've never been that great at actually convincing him of anything.
Yeah,
so
that's actually a good time to mention actually this, because I was just thinking about how well you guys may know your talents, right? How much do you guys know each other? I know Jeremy's probably the newest to the group, and this probably wasn't your first time being checked out by Parker. You know, like maybe he found you like out of this black feather, like really out of it, and he got you back here and they patched you back up. But that could have been, we'll say, you know, a few months, right? Before it started getting bad, right? Maybe it doesn't happen all at once. Maybe it wasn't like, oh, I'm a Vurt dude. Maybe it was just like, I'm a Robo Man, and there's like this, what's this thing on my arm? Should I get that cut? You know?
Exactly.
You know? Has it got a skin tag? And then, nope, not a skin tag anymore.
I have skin now. What the hell?
yeah, you're like, what is this? And then it just got bigger and bigger and bigger. Yeah, so Galani may have like checked you out a few times, you know. So, but you're like the newest. But what about Hack? How long has he been in a relationship or known Parker?
I would say about 5 years.
Yeah, it's pretty long term. So
yeah.
So you may have known Weaver for 5 years, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Cool. So you guys have at least an understanding of what your talents are, you know, that kind of thing.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So at this point,
Hack has helped me develop the plans for a prototype I want to make, like a cross between a limbic splitter and a guitar.
I was wondering how long we'd go in the game before you mentioned that. Because he wants to remind me. Yeah. Yeah, he wants to make a limbic splitter plus guitar. So, yeah. So maybe Sean's like helping him out with that, you know. All right, cool. So, all right. So yeah, so Jeremy, I'm sorry I interjected while you asked. You said something about said something about you couldn't get the guy to talk to you or something.
Oh yeah, I was just trying to tell.
You said that in character to them.
Yeah, I was saying that stuff in character to DJ. Like, you're good at talking to people. It just people talk slow, and I get aggravated. It never works out well. But
I can do it. It's no problem.
Getting the stuff is one side of the plan. Knowing who to sell it to is another side of the plan that we'd have to come up with.
Okay.
I think it's cool. We can just get it and then sell it later.
I'll take it one step at a time, basically.
That makes sense.
All right, cool. Okay, so all right, so you guys thinking maybe try to square up a meet with this guy? Okay, so Jeremy, in this setting, how you would get a hold of this fellow, Seamus, would be to insert your personal data feather and select the option called call. Okay, so a personal data feather is it's a lucid feather. Okay, in that you're still aware of your surroundings. It's kind of like augmented reality in like Shadowrun or Netrunner or something like that. And so when you and it's actually a good time to actually describe the first feather because feathers are unique. So they're so light, right? You'd think putting something like that in your throat would be uncomfortable, but like most people in the society have been doing it since they were kids. And it's also this technological device which is super light, made to be comfortable, and when it goes up against the top of your mouth, it inserts these. It kind of spreads out like a spider, touching your brain waves and all that kind of stuff, and communicating with you. And a personal data feather is different than a blue or a yellow or a black or a pink in that it does not cream and just go to waste and become disposal. It's just you can constantly use it. So you insert your personal data feather and so you just kind of do it while you're standing there because I mean it's not something that's going to make you lose consciousness or anything. All right.
No, yeah. Let's call him.
Yeah. Okay. And so the call would you'd essentially be telling your brain what to say. Essentially, does that make sense?
Yes.
Yeah.
And this is the point. Oh, wrong character sheet. This is the point where I tell everybody that may or may not have known I have an inability because I'm a RoboVert that's no time to waste. Difficulty of involving charm or persuasion is increased by 1.
Yep.
So it's like I'm me in the game.
Okay. All right. Cool. So how much information do you give him?
I just say, hey, I got a friend who wants to talk to you about my usual kind of stuff that we don't talk about on the PDF. Can we meet?
He says, all right, I'm intrigued. Let's meet. All right, and then he picks a dive bar kind of place down near the River Mercy.
I like it. Usual time.
He just says in the PM, dinner. All right.
See you then.
Okay, cool. So you guys got to meet. Okay, so now who's going to be attending this meet? Is everybody going to be here? Be there?
Well, at least me, and I assume DJ Weaver.
Heck, what about you?
Yeah, be there.
All right, cool. All right. Okay, so what do you guys do during the time? There's about 3 or 4 hours to kill. Do you guys do anything else?
See.
I mean, as much as you have going on with this greenhouse and with the kids and stuff, y'all still have the pure problem.
That one's just going to go away on its own.
Yeah, those kind of things just go away on their own. That's exactly what happens. Yeah.
Mm.
That's funny.
Is there any sort of surveillance, like, outside of the building? Because if not, I would want to tell my blowfly to pay attention to for.
I'll say that there is, but there's not very good, right? Like it's like main doors. You're talking about a tenement that has like windows everywhere, and half of them are busted out, and like, he never had the money to like fully equip the place, right?
Sure.
So you feel like it's the safer thing would be to command the blurb flies to kind of just do like a surveillance around the place.
Yeah, at least trying to keep an eye. I'm guessing the purgers all have a similar look or sort of thing, and just
they have similar tattoos, which is something like pure is good, pure is right, pure is might. That's a motto they use. And so they have similar tattoos like that, and so yeah, you can kind of spot them. They're also all like obviously human.
Yeah,
because they're a humanocentric modist. So yeah. So all right.
Yeah.
Okay, so you set up and start watching. What about you, Sean? Sorry.
Yeah, so it's kind of interesting Jeremy brought that up because I was thinking the same thing. I was like, that'd probably be something I could help with. Security.
Yeah.
So I guess I'm just going to take the time and actually just like look at the security system and see, like, make it's actually working. 'Cause, I mean, that's what everybody does. They're like, oh yeah, I've got cameras, and it's like, yeah, dude, that thing hasn't worked in 10 years. Like,
yeah, maybe you're fixing some of the stuff up and that kind of thing. Okay.
yeah, and then just making sure, like, hey, this like northeast corner of the building isn't even like doesn't even have a camera on it, or something.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. All right. Cool. Cool. All right. So Sean, why don't you roll a? I'll say it's an intellect task to get his security system working better, because it's a bit more powerful, right, than just surveillance, right? You could help him long term for this. So I'll say it's a difficulty 3 task. So if you don't modify it, it's going to be a target number of target number 9.
Okay. So electronics.
Yeah, you can apply your electronics to the roll.
Okay. So is it so the assets, is that still 1?
That's if you want to spend effort.
Oh, okay.
So delete that if you're not.
No, I'll just leave it at 0.
All right.
20.
All right. Oh, wow, nice. Okay. Okay. So I'll say that with a 20, you get a major effect there. Do you want to kind of do anything else with that? Like, is there anything really cool that you want to tack on to it? Because you run it well. You're going to get to do a pretty good improvement to their system. What kind of thing would your character do with that?
I think for him, mostly he just wants 2 things, which is the entire building gets covered, and then maybe I would say, since I was doing, let's just say, since he's a hacker, maybe he's been able to sort of like tap into other street cameras in the area.
Ooh. Okay.
And so not only does he have coverage on that building, he's able to get tap into other video cameras kind of in the neighborhood.
Me likey. I like that.
Yeah, so it gives him like, I guess forewarning that anybody would be coming. So it's like, hey, see everything in the area like 3 blocks away.
Yeah, that's cool. Okay, so what we'll do then is I'll let you make a I'll just that's really cool, because that'd be something that can happen while you guys are away, right? You can know if someone. All right, sweet. And so there's something I need you to roll for, Jeremy. Can you roll for perception with your drone? Sorry, your blurb fly. Gotta get the terminology right. So does it have any modules to improve its ability?
No.
Okay, nothing specifically.
Yeah.
About it. All right.
So
do you do anything to maybe improve the chances of it rolling? Like
I actually have an
like
ability on initiative.
Yeah? You have initiative?
I do have inability on initiative.
Apply here.
Inability.
You have inability?
Yeah, inability.
Oh, inability is not good, man. Inability means that you're worse. Yeah. That's worse than trained. That means you have a reduction in difficulty. Increase in difficulty. Yeah, but I don't think initiative will apply here, really. It's just to see if his cameras spot things, if the blurred flies spot something. So
wait.
Okay.
So you would ask me to do.
So what you'll do in this situation? I'm asking you if there's anything creative, you tell me about what you're making the blurbs do.
I don't think I was being creative. I was just like,
yeah. Okay.
If you see something, let me know.
Yeah. Okay. Make a D20 roll for your blurbs.
The one. It showed up as DJ Weaver instead of me. But so
1.
Yeah.
Oh well, then
I rolled a 1.
Okay. All right.
I am far too worried about what the hell's going on with my arm. What the hell are we gonna do with this other guy?
Well, the roll is not you; it's the drone.
Oh.
So it's the drone. Yeah.
Check. I'm with you.
Yeah, makes sense. Okay, cool. And I apologize to people watching the stream. I had to move around the cameras again because we had a drop out. So hopefully everybody's squared away again. Okay. So yeah. So all right. time to kill. So, anything else? Anything else before I just jet off to the next scene? Before I jet off to the next scene, Weaver, are you gonna do anything while you're in the next 3 hours before the meet?
I can just play some music.
Yeah, try to boost morale, maybe. Maybe the kids are like, they're a little apprehensive, right? They're a little nervous with this purist gang threatening everybody. And so maybe you can kind of calm some moods and bring everybody in high spirits. Also help seeing Sean's character Hack is like fixing cameras, and we've got drones now. There's a little bit of sense of security. So I'm gonna give you an asset to this role. You want to make a intellect task to no, it'd be if you're performing. Are you performing with your guitar?
Yeah,
Yeah.
guitar.
Okay.
And I
Make
get,
a speed task then.
and if they know me and I live there, I could just be myself and separate my forearms and like play with 4 blue arms.
Nice.
Get all creative and funny.
You can have like a double-headed guitar, and then you how they have the two, right? And then you have like a hand on each, and then another one
like
wave
a
the crowd,
arm guitar.
Nice. Okay. All right. Cool. All right. Make a. I don't know. What do you guys think? Would guitar be might, speed, or intellect? What do you guys think? Putting it to the table. What kind of role would that be? You think?
Guitar.
Yeah, I mean, I want to say speed, but it's also talent. Like, it's also learning a craft, right? I mean, it's learning a craft.
It's hard. Like, if he was writing music, I would say intellect. I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know. Maybe you want to dump some more points into that speed if you're going to be doing guitars and stuff. So why don't you roll a speed task, please? And if you have anything to add to it, great. But I'll add one asset for the other players doing things to help rebuild a sense of security. Yeah, so it'll be one asset, and so I'll roll that. Do you have anything else you want to add, effort or anything, Weaver?
Yeah, let me see. Because Works the Room has levity. Let me see if I can find it real quick. I know it helps people with what they want to do.
Okay. What page is that on? I can help you out.
Let me see. I think it's page 95. Wait, 96. Yeah, it says through wit, charm, humor, and grace, you're trained in all social interactions other than those involving coercion or intimidation. During rest, you put your friends and comrades so much at ease that they gain +1 to their recovery rolls.
Oh, nice.
I don't know if it works.
Yeah, that's a good time to mention. Do any of you want to try to recover some of your dice, some of your pool, while he's playing music?
Yeah.
Like so the first time you do it, it's just an action. That's what's cool about it. So all you do is stop and listen to his music for maybe a bit, and then you're a little bit calmed and a little bit centered, and he helps you. So what you'll do is you'll roll recovery roll, and it's in Fantasy Grounds. It's down there at the very bottom, but just put a +1 in that beside it there, and hit the roll button, and that gives you points back. So Hack, you gain 8 points back.
And that spreads out over your intellect.
You can put them however you want. You can choose how they go.
But, okay, so my intellect is 14, right? So it can only go back up to 14?
Yeah, it won't go over.
So I only use 3.
Yeah. Yeah, sometimes you roll this crazy high max, right? So, all right. Okay. And Sean, Jeremy, you can do the same thing with even one. And
I don't think I spent anything, or do you?
Oh, okay, I thought you did. My bad. Okay, never mind. Then you just kind of listen to music. Why don't you make a speed task for me? Like I said, you get it as an asset, Weaver, and
how do I roll effort? Speed that's not a defense?
Speed that's not a defense.
Oh, or do I just want to roll this?
Well, I guess you just pick up a D20 and roll it if you don't have a skill.
Yeah.
See, because it shows it there if you don't have the skill.
What the?
All right. Now, Weaver, do you want to add any effort to this? To try to convince everybody to a better sense of security?
How much?
Maybe you only
Yeah,
have a speed task of
I
you only
think
have a
just
speed of 10.
yeah, I think just a level of effort should
One
do.
level effort. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. We'll see how this plays out. All right, man. You did like amazing. We're gonna yeah the 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 youth. They very much like your music. It seemed to be as soon as you started playing, like there were at least several of them that really liked to hear your music. Like when you started up, they're already jumping onto the couch and listening. You know, before you even start hitting the guitar, you're plugging things in. I don't know, that kind of stuff. Before they even start, they're already enthralled. And so, what kind of song do you play? Like, what kind of beat, tempo, style? What is it?
Um, I want to say just play notes and stuff on the guitar, and then since music in this setting is really bass driven, like kind of make bass sounds with my mouth, and since most of them are like little kids, so just eat it up.
Right, right. Yeah, maybe you could like key the guitar down to where it's more of a bass tone, that kind of stuff. And maybe in the future, like
Oh yeah,
electrical
yeah,
guitars have like settings where like you can just switch it from bass between bass and lead and that kind of thing, like settings. And so you just start
yeah. Like
playing away. And you said you're kind of just playing notes and stuff. Are you just like Dave Matthews, like just jamming it, just kind of going with it?
I let let's say it's more like a kind of like a synth guitar,
Okay.
so it can do like all kinds of sounds, and I can get just like a bass riff going, and then like record that, and then add up to them and whatnot.
Oh, very cool. Very cool. I like it. So a lot of the kids seem to like your experimentation. They're just kind of sitting around and they like this, listening to the new things you create when you start playing, and they really enjoy it. And Parker, when you're ending, puts his hand on your shoulder and he seems to be happy that you've kind of encouraged the situation and helped everything. So these people are very much encouraged by all the actions you guys have taken. So awesome stuff. Okay, so now on to the meat. So you guys are on your way to the dive bar, and the dive bar is close to the canals, but you're gonna have to turn down an alleyway because this is a dive bar. I mean, this is a shithole basically. So you'd have to turn down the alley and go down to the second down to the basement level. It's kind of like Cheers. You got like a stairs going down to the bar. Um,
So on the walk over, I'm giving him I'm talking to Weaver and like giving him a bunch of useless information about the guy with like a couple of random actual facts like Cortex jammers and I don't even know what else.
yeah, nice.
I'd be like, yeah, I've got it, Cortex Jammers,
But I'm just
and I
gonna keep
and I kind
talking.
of laugh.
That's funny. I'm just gonna keep talking. Nice, nice. Okay. All right. So are you quiet, Hack, on the way, or do you share any thoughts to them or anything like that?
Um, no, I'm pretty much just going along for the ride. Or no input for this specific issue.
Yep. Okay. So when you turn down the alley, to head that way, and you probably went about 30 feet down the alley, and you hear a synthetic growl up ahead, and then you see a figure kind of slumped over in the darkness, and you see shadows, and it looks like someone that might be maybe unconscious or laying down or something like that, but that's not where the sound's coming from. And then you look ahead of you, and stepping out of the darkness is it looks dog-like in shape, but it's made of metal, and it's got like instead of eyes, it's got cameras, it's got things like that on it, and instead of like a mouth and a claw, would you think they have something down there? But it's got like a mechanical body, and like it stands on these like flat hooves, right? And it's about the size of a large dog, and you hear this mechanical growl coming from its what do you guess would be its sound system, and you're facing a robo dog, and then you hear another growl, and one kind of digs its way up out of the garbage it was laying in, and the figure that's laying down over the side kind of just starts moving a little bit, looking around, and then he says, "We have to eat, girls." And so the robo dogs appear to be very aggressive and moving into aggressive patterns. So I want you guys to, so if you have initiative, roll it for me. And if you have a inability, which is DJ Weaver, did you say you got an inability in initiative?
Yes.
Okay.
I am trained in all initiative tasks.
Very cool.
Yeah, let's practice. I'm sure I don't have any like initiative things.
Oh!
Nice.
All right. So we got 20.
I think these electronic dice are rigged for super high or super low.
Fuck.
Did I get a 1?
We're going to see. You got a 2. A 2.
At least it's not a 1.
Yeah, it's not a 1, yes. Okay, so we got 20 for even. Nice. And Maxwell Hack's got an 8. Okay. So that's a major effect. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to, because I don't know what else to give you right now, you get an asset on your first action. Because you're the first one before the dogs even crawl out and stuff like that, and they're in like the combat ready position, really. You're going to get to act quickly or responsively. So, all right. So let's actually I need to get the dogs in there. I've been discussing things and haven't put them in there. Oh, okay, 15. All right. So you're actually the only one that goes before them, before they pounce in. Even you're the first to react. These dogs probably want to leave you for dead and take your money.
Yes.
Never do you hear that in either a game. These dogs want to leave you for dead and take your money. Usually in other games it's leave you for dead or eat you. But in this game it's take your money.
Little they know, we don't have any money.
Yeah, that's right. All right.
Joke's on them.
Ah, crap.
Okay,
I have the perfect way to get away, but that doesn't help anybody else.
It's just for you, you greedy bastard. I know, Erg. He unfortunately he couldn't be here, unfortunately. So I was excited about introducing him. He'll be here next game.
Okay.
I know, I love that picture. Like he looks like he is staring at you. Reminds me of Vigo from Second Ghostbusters. Jeff's picture. Vigo. All right, Jeremy. Sorry.
Okay, I want to use my charge object mathemagic capability and charge up my my metal walking stick I've got and get ready to smack one of them next time.
Nice. Very cool. Okay, so you can move up to a short distance, and they are a short distance away, right? Because it's like a narrow, cramped alley, that kind of stuff.
Okay.
But you're going to get an asset on this because you're going to catch them off guard. So the way combat works is, unless there's a modification to the enemy's level, you'll just roll against the enemy's level, right?
Okay.
So I believe it'll do it all automatically. The feral dogs are pretty powerful creatures. They're pretty nasty. They're tough.
Okay.
So.
And there's 4 of them?
There's 2 of them. No, 2
of them.
2. Yes. See, this could be a nasty fight. Like, I would almost be scared for your life. But they're level 5. Which means it's going to be a 15 to hit them. At the very least.
Well, and I'm not trained with the thing anyway. The actual melee weapon. Crap. Okay, yeah, I don't have a better idea. I'm gonna come up with something in a second. Okay,
All
how
right.
do I? It takes an action to actually do this charged object thing.
Okay.
So,
Then you'll charge
and
your. Do you want to do that? I'll let you keep your asset till next turn then. But just
okay,
yeah, your next. Okay, so you're gonna charge your object. So you guys see even pull out a metal cane, and electricity in real life doesn't actually have looks, but like maybe you do something mathematically, and then suddenly it's charged, Maybe like the
yeah,
air distorts around it or something like that, or maybe you see like a brilliant arc as it activates, but that's it.
yeah.
Very
I'll
cool.
I'll I'll have to come up. So hang on. Takes 2 intellect points. Does edge take away
Yes, it
from
will.
that?
Yes, it will.
Okay,
But you can only
cool.
apply edge once per turn. So,
Yeah.
yeah,
Well, so okay.
yes. Okay,
Cool.
so the feral dogs. What? Oh,
Uh oh.
sorry. So the feral dogs, they leap in towards the two of you that are in the front. Now this is an interesting situation. Who's in the front? You're gonna just jump at the chance to say like, who's in the front? Who's in the front? But who was lingering in the back?
I would have been next to Weaver talking to him or at him more precisely.
All right.
So
And since Sean's checked out, kind of, he said he wasn't talking and stuff a lot. I'm gonna say he's lingering in the back. Sound good, Sean?
Yeah.
Hack?
Yeah, that's
Okay. So Weaver and Even One, both of you guys are gonna get attacked from a pouncing feral robo dog. Now these guys are pretty tough, so that means to not get hit, you're gonna have to roll a 15 or higher. So you need to start considering making defense effort on defense rolls. But up to you. So what do you guys do?
I am
I should've
going to
played
try
the
and
song.
dot. Sorry, go ahead.
No, sorry. I was just gonna say that I shouldn't have spent that effort to get that song right.
Well, you could have used a recovery roll as well during that one time while you were singing if you wanted to.
I could have, didn't I?
Yeah.
I totally forgot. It's cool.
You can
I'll
apply.
spend the effort though to not get hit.
Okay. All right. So we'll have him make a defense roll.
Speed or might?
It'll be speed. Speed is always what you'll do when you're trying to not die.
Oh, okay.
Your speed is so great. You tanked might and speed. Damn. Just tanked them both. You did.
I put points. Well, no, I didn't put points.
You got 9 and 9 and 18. Yeah. So make a speed defense for us. Even One.
No, I want to use my. Where did it go?
Your escape thing?
No, my kinetic enabler math magic thing, so I can use intellect in the place of speed or might when applying levels of effort. Is that something I could do to try and?
Yes, it is.
I am thinking so fast that I'm anticipating what this dog is diving at and attempting to.
Very cool.
Get out of the way.
Roll it.
3 points, right, to do an effort, or is it 1? God, I cannot remember.
In this case, since you're using your intellect pool, I think your intellect aid will apply. So.
Right, but it's 3 points to get
3.
effort.
Yep.
Okay.
3 minus 1.
14. And then speed defense. Do I get my asset on this one?
Sure. You can make a lot of this. Yeah.
Cool. I don't want to get hit.
Maybe feral robo dogs like this well enough to how to respond when it first starts. Also, it's something to consider.
Oh my goodness.
Weaver. Oh, nice. Okay. So I have an idea. Okay, that sounds pretty cool. So you dodge out of the way, knowing how he's going to leap, what pattern, how high he's going to go, because he's going to try to pounce on you, and you shove the end of your cane underneath here, and you don't do a significant amount of damage, but you pressed into something, and you see his camera eyes start flickering, and he hits the ground, and I'll give him 2 damage, and he starts shaking his head violently, going roar, roar, because he can't see worth a damn after he's pounced, and you leapt away as he pounced. Unfortunately, Weaver, you take 5 points of damage to your might. Okay, 5 points of damage to your might. All right. Your might is
just like
12.
standing there and get pounced on.
So that's 7. You're down to 7. Yeah. So keep that in mind. All right. It's not looking good, and it's actually a good time to mention that.
I'll be right back.
Yes.
I'm at 4 speed right now.
5. So no, sorry. That didn't go out of your speed. If you use defense, if you use effort on that defense, it would be 7. You have an edge, right, in speed? Or no?
No, intellect.
Okay, then you'll have a speed of 7 right now. All right, and
what effort did I use for the guitar playing part? Was it speed also?
I believe it was, yeah. But you did a recovery roll, didn't you? You wanted to do a recovery roll for that?
Yeah, sure thing.
Okay.
Yeah.
Let's see what that looks like. Look at that. So you're at full. There you go. Okay. Okay. Now, feral dogs have acted. Hack, your allies. Oh, sorry. Before I got to Ack, I was going to say, Weaver, you've seen these kind of things happen before, right? That's a Robo Krusty over in the corner who's managed to gain the favor of 2 feral Robo dogs, which is an achievement on its own. But this might can be resolved by persuading him in some fashion. Okay? All right?
Sure thing.
All right. Hack, your action, your 2 allies are getting swarmed by robo dogs.
Mm-hmm.
What do you do?
Pull out my knife.
Yeah? One of them is injured, and I'll say that the blindness of it will give you an asset on your attacks against him, which it'll reduce the difficulty.
Right.
You want to do that?
Yes.
Okay. So you're going to attempt to plunge the knife, into this feral robo dog, and so that'll reduce the difficulty from 5 to 4. Do you want to add any kind of effort or anything, or you have any skills or anything to add?
Let's see. I am practiced with light medium weapons.
Okay, that just means you don't take penalties. Yeah.
Penalty.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay. So. Yeah, effort would be a good idea at this point. So I have like 1 effort, right? Right. Effort. So
okay.
I just.
Yeah. Well, it's a good thing to note, actually. Yeah. Go ahead, Weaver.
Sorry, I got a question. Do we have ciphers on us?
You have the ciphers you started with. Did you roll ciphers?
Mm-hmm.
Sorry, Weaver. Did you roll ciphers?
I don't think I did.
Okay. Then why don't you take the book? You got to do 100, Weaver, and just roll your ciphers real quick when it's not your turn, and maybe you get something that's worthwhile that you can use here.
Sure thing.
All right. And so Hack, you can spend effort on attacking, or you can spend effort on damage. But as tier 1, you can only do one or the other because of effort limitations. So it's up to you. If you spend effort on damage, it increases the damage you deal.
So this is actually kind of interesting, or maybe interesting, because we brought up ciphers. I actually have a dog seed cake.
Okay, that's awesome. Okay, so dog seed cake. I think what page is that on? Let's see.
I have no idea.
I gotta look at the tables. Hold on, I'll find it.
Okay.
Oh wait, I just realized something. You don't have to roll them, DJ, Weaver. I can roll it. I actually put the cipher table in Fantasy Grounds, so I could just hit a button and you know what you got.
Oh.
That's good.
Okay, so you got pure Vurt flesh, Weaver, and
yeah,
napalm
is that
filters. Napalm filters, pure Vurt flesh and napalm filters. So napalm filters you'll find on page 369, and pure Vurt flesh you'll find on 370. Sorry, that's 370 the PDF, so it'll be 369 and 368. Okay? Alright, back to Sean. You said you have dog seed cake?
Mhm.
Okay, it's on page 364. Dog seed. At 1 point to user's might pool. User gets -1 on social interactions. A small roasted hayseed biscuit. You know, it says dog seed cake, which is interesting because it's probably a dog recipe. If you wanted to use it to try to bait these things, you could do it. I'll let you use it for that purpose too, because I believe it's like a man dog or dog recipe, right? For like a kibble biscuit type thing, you know. So if you wanted to use that somehow, you could.
Okay.
So, and I'll say that the difficulty will be 4 to do that, and you would get an asset because you have the dog seed cake. So, so it'd be difficulty 3. So you don't have to roll a 9 or higher. If you want to try to instead throw out this cake and distract one of them, well, you might convince one to just like keep eating the cake long enough to take out the other one. You know.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna do. Is I was basically gonna see if like they noticed it and then throw it.
Okay. All right. Well, make a intellect task. Try to get over a 9. Just roll a d20. Unless you want to apply effort. I don't think you do though.
13.
There you go. Okay, so you throw out the dog seed cake towards the one, I'm assuming that's not injured because his eyes, he'll actually see it. And so you throw it out towards that one, and he gets distracted going after Weaver and sees it. And when his turn comes back around, he'll dive after that cake. It's obvious at this point. He's showing telling signs of it. So Weaver, the dog in front of you, the robo dog in front of you, is distracted because Hack just threw a dog seed cake out near it. So you're not technically engaged in combat right now. What do you want to do?
Am I prone or am
No,
I
you're still
standing up?
standing. It didn't knock you to the ground. I could have used the intrusion, but I didn't. I gotta remember to do that. I'm not used to doing that.
So I think I want to use my action to just walk over to the Robo Krusty and offer the pure bird flesh, and ask him to make them stop and let us go and be on our way.
Okay. Well, I'll say this: it is a combat situation, so walking would be. You're talking about matters of seconds, split seconds here. You could maybe like. I mean, you could walk over there, I guess. But you can like wave it in the air and let him know that you have it or something like that. Does that make sense?
I'm sorry, what?
You can calmly walk over there and like show it to him. Is that what you're thinking?
Yeah.
Okay.
Just to get it over with.
Okay. You know what? I'm gonna say make a social interaction, the intellect task. You get an asset because of the Vurt flesh.
And I will apply some effort.
Apply some effort. All right. Okay. So that makes it. The Robo Krusty is not a high difficulty, so it's not gonna be hard to do this. In fact, you reduce the difficulty. Let's see, it's 3. I'll say it's 3 -1. If you apply effort, you want to roll, but you can also just not. You can just let the dice fall. Do you want to let the dice fall? It's not a hard difficulty.
Yeah, sure thing.
Yeah.
It's not 4.
Okay. Yeah, it's not a hard roll. Yeah. Okay. All right. We're gonna do this. Let's see what you get. Watch you roll like terrible. You still succeeded though. Thank goodness you still succeeded because it was like you only had to roll over a 3, but you made it barely. Damn. Okay. All right. So you wave the Vurt flesh in his face, and the Robo Krusty he gets up, like he springs to his feet faster than you've ever seen like a homeless Robo do, and you hear like his servos as he like gets up and like the creaking, and then you guys see that he has what's a mane of droid locks. Right, they're like dreadlocks, but they're like metallic. And they're all twisted, kind of like crane cables or something, and he's covered in like mangy mud and dirt and garbage and smells awful. And it looks like half his parts aren't really working, you know. And he looks at the Vurt flesh, and like if you offer it to him, the first thing he does is try to dive for it. Do you try to negotiate with words before he grabs it? Because he'll just rip it right out of your hand.
Yeah, I'll try to go like make them stop, make the dog stop, and I'll give it to you.
All right.
Let us go. Let us
okay,
get on
so
our way.
then he looks
We got
around
stuff
for a
to do.
moment, and then you hear something switch in the speakers of his voice, and you hear a bark come out of his speakers, and then one of the dogs just kind of, one of them's going after a dog seed cake and is going to town on it, and the other is injured, but he backs down. So, very cool. Very cool. I'm gonna roll something here, actually, because you guys did awesome. You beat this encounter by thinking, using your wits. I'm gonna roll something here. Buzzkill. I'm gonna look this up. Buzzkill. Let's see what Buzzkill is. That's hilarious. So as you guys are walking past the scene after calming him down, and what's funny is what happens, what transpires, is you see this Robo Krusty in the corner just starts gnawing down on this Vurt flesh, just this strip of like slimy flesh, and like he like within like a split second or moments, like he just seems to fall unconscious and start rolling around in the garbage. And so you guys are walking into the dive bar, and you see a small metallic case on the ground. Looks clean. You don't know why it's here, but you see a small metallic case on the ground.
Are there any markings?
Looks like it might
on
have rolled out from some of the refuse, some of the garbage, you know.
Oh.
These are the kind of cases that usually hold pharmaceutical materials.
I'm gonna be like, oh, good.
Well,
We
you
don't
were
have to
talking
talk
about
this
selling
time.
stuff, right? I mean, selling
Oh,
pharmaceuticals.
yeah.
Yeah.
I'm completely lying, probably obvious, but I'm like, oh, good. We don't have to talk to him. He's just supplying us with a case this time, and I'll just walk up to it.
Okay.
And try to pick it up.
You pick it up and you immediately recognize the type of pharmaceutical. It's actually a suppository called Buzzkill. Yeah. It renders you immune to poisons of a certain level, equal to its level, and it also renders you completely immune to the effects of drugs. And it'll last you 20 minutes.
Interesting.
Yeah. So you might take it after you take a Cortex Jammer or something like that, when the negative side effects are kicking in.
Yeah.
You know? Yeah. So it has value, for sure. You can have all the kick of like a badass like party drug without all the downside. Just by shoving a Buzzkill up your ass.
It's got going here.
I'm
And
sure
I'm not
it
making this
buzzes
up
when you
because
have to put it up there
suppository,
too.
So not making it up. Okay. So you've collected this, and then y'all turn to head down the stairs towards the dive bar. Okay. And inside, you guys, we're going to cut to the chase a little bit. We'll describe the dive bar in brief detail. We'll just say it looks like Cheers. You know, it looks like this, like old school, like English tavern with but instead it has like a modern style square bar in the center, right? And your friend is sitting in like one of the tables that's not a booth in the far corner, you know, and so you guys find your way over to him. I'm I'm gonna get Jeremy involved a little bit in this. Why don't you
Uh-oh.
tell us what kind of dude this is? Seamus, is he a vert man? Is he pure human? Is he a robo dude? Is he dog man? What is he?
So I think he's Robo Man, and is one of the guys from like shipping receiving sort of a thing.
You say dog man?
No, well, I said Robo Man.
Oh, sorry. Go ahead. My bad. Robo man. My bad.
And looks gruff, has tattoos, you know, is used to manual labor, has all of that look to him,
Oh yeah.
but he's got a very friendly face for whatever reason as well, like the big friendly smile sort of thing.
Oh yeah. Yeah. That's cool. That's cool. All right. See, like maybe his most of his head is like metal, except for his actual face, which means it's like this like flesh, and he gets this like really big Jim Carrey style smile whenever he greets people, and but like we'll say that the tattoos right on the flesh they're actual tattoos, but when you get to like the robo part, they're like chiseled into his metallic parts.
Yeah.
So the pattern of the tattoo continues over the chiseled bits, and so he's sitting over this table waiting for you, and you come up to him, and he just smiles real big, and he says, "Even, how are you? Come
I've been
sit.
better.
Been better. Whoa, what's that?" And he looks down at your arm. He's never seen it like that before.
Oh, yes, that's new. Tug on my sleeve a little bit to try and pull it down some.
Yeah, I mean, he thinks you need to get that checked out.
That is a long-term plan.
All right.
Don't tell Mom. She'll just worry.
He says, yes, mothers do, right? He says, your friend's here. How are you? He smiles real big.
This is Weaver. He's a cool DJ. And this is Hack. I say the right name.
You say Hack.
This is Hack.
He says, come, sit. And then he brings, he's just got, he orders drinks and has them brought over. And he says, so what did you want to speak about?
Well, you remember Parker?
Yes.
I've told you about him a little bit before.
Yes.
I'm sure. So,
yeah?
Looks like he's needing some help.
Huh?
And I'm trying to help him.
And you need me?
We could use... He needs some money. I'm not good at getting money, but you're good at getting things that could get us some money.
He says, I don't have much of a supply right now. And this would be a good time for... If you want to continue the negotiation, you can, Jeremy. But
Oh yeah,
it's
that's
gonna,
just, I'm like
it's not
looking
good
over
for you.
at Weaver. Like,
thank you so much,
start
Larry.
talking.
Appreciate it. Yeah, if you want to continue the conversation, you can, or you can turn it over to Weaver. Look at him, he's popping those knuckles, getting into it. Yeah, so he makes the excuse of poor inventory. He says, I don't have much in the way of inventory. I don't know if I can part with it.
And I just kind of, as nicely as possible, just put my elbows down and like kind of get this eye contact going on, and go like, mate, cut the shit. We need the money. We can help each other. Come on.
Says,
Like,
how can you help me?
I mean,
I'm giving you an opportunity out of character. Out of character. I'm giving you the opportunity. If you come up with something in a way you could help him, I'll give you an asset to this role. Like if you can think of some way that you might be able to help this guy, Thank you so much for the follow, Lee. If you can think of a way to help, like a way that you can kind of give and take with this guy, you'll get to still make the roll regardless, but you can add an asset to this.
Okay. Let me see if I
You know
can.
he's a drug dealer, and
Sure thing.
maybe you could like.
I think I can. Can I fast talk out of this? Let me see.
What is
It's
fast
kinda
talk
lost.
again? What page?
I lost it. 1 second. Fast talk is speaker. Okay. Speaker ability that lets me. Okay. When speaking with an intelligent creature who can understand you and isn't hostile, you convince them to give you some specific information in the next round, perhaps a name, address, or other details.
Okay. All
Does
right.
that work?
Yeah.
I don't know.
I'm gonna have
Maybe
to
get
think
some
about it.
information as to, I don't know, help him complete a delivery or something.
Okay. All right.
That'll at least get us some
Yeah.
dough.
So in the conversation, he looks away for a brief moment, and you think he has a PDF inside, and he's communicating on it while he's talking to you, and he says something about he says he just out of the blue says, "Oh, Old Trafford, I hate dealing there."
I mean, we could go there. Old Trafford, yeah.
He says, "Wait. So if I give you some of the drugs, you do this trade for me? Because I've got a trade to do in Old
Yeah, I mean,
Trafford,
no
and you know I
problem.
don't like going down that way. Hell, no one likes to go down that way, not unless it's a vert ball game."
Oh man, what was
Yeah,
the
I mean,
score from Saturday?
He says, he said Manchester lost like usual. Jeez.
Ah,
Okay, so yeah, you can use that as I'll say that's an asset. You know, it's actually really cool because it's going to be an asset, which is the equivalent of an effort, and you did it for only one intellect point. So if you want to spend edge on it, you could do it. It won't cost anything. Use your edge. So you got your skill and then your edge. I'm sorry, your asset. It reduces it by 2. I'll say it's a difficulty 4 action. So all you gotta do is roll over a 6. Does that sound good?
yeah, let's do it.
All right, cool. All right, roll over that 6. We'll see how it goes. Bam. There you go. He says, "All right, I'll hook you up with some materials. We'll discuss price, but I'll cut you a deal, even. But you have to do a drop for me near Old Trafford. Just don't get too close to the red wall. All right? Cameras will spot you. Sound
the
good?
red wall. Got it.
All right. Okay. So he'll agree to we'll say 100 quid. Um, once it's all said and done, and since you're doing the swap for you, you can owe him 100 quid because I know you guys are hurting for money. Unless some of you saved 100 quid, you can pay him right now. Or did y'all spend it all?
Did I spend it all?
I've got 200.
You've got 200 still?
Mhm.
You can pay. You can pay right. You can pay right now after the delivery when you get the drugs. Sound good?
Okay.
All right. Okay. All right. All right. So he says the drop needs to happen in an hour. Out of character. All All right.
That's doable.
You guys get to go to Old Trafford. Okay, so Old Trafford is a slang term people use. It's not actually a district inside the borough. It's Old Trafford Stadium. Like pretty much this entire borough has kind of gone to shit, but Old Trafford gets attention still when there's a vert ball game. Like hardcore fans still go see the games live. Like most people tap in with a feather. They take a blue feather, get in the skin of their favorite vert ball player, and then just see the game through their eyes, right? But hardcore fans still go to vert ball games, which is basically soccer. Well, I say sorry. Sorry, I'm from the U.S. football, but yeah. So yeah, that's what the game is. So yeah, the stadium though is when there's not a game going on is not the safest place. But Sean, I'll say that you know this since you're a hacker type guy. The reason why he said to stay away from the red wall is because the security is around the entranceways and the red wall. There's cameras and stuff set up for security. That's the reason why he said to stay away from the red wall. So. Okay, so Sean, do you spend the £100 to trade for the drugs? Okay. All right, cool. All right. So he gives you some assorted illegal upper drugs. And now I'm going to give you guys an opportunity. This is a GM intrusion for all of you. And unfortunately, because you're level 1 and you have no experience points, you have to take it. So it's something that I'll explain soon. But so you guys can all add 1 experience point to your sheet. Just at the top right there. Sorry, at the top. And you did an awesome thing and you get to trade, but it's who you have to trade with. And so you guys go to the meet in an hour, and you got a question though. How you guys get there? Because it's in the same bureau, but it's quite a ways away. Like the bureaus are huge. We're talking about 65 million people squeezed into like 16 bureaus. I mean, they're large. So do you guys take a cab? What? Train? How do you guys get around?
Probably the train.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Cool. What about Weaver? Y'all go just ride with him in the train?
Yeah, sure thing.
All right, cool.
Definitely stay together.
Yeah, definitely stay together. Makes sense. Okay, so you guys go to the meet and you have a briefcase. Well, I'd say it's more like a satchel, like a duffel bag, if you will. And it's got some things in it. It's mostly stuffed to make it look more full, but it does have things inside. Illegal things. And he give you the meat spot, and so you kind of just do you guys need preparation when you get to the meat spot? It's a parking lot, and they said stand near like this memorial statue.
I don't think I've done this enough to have any prep.
Your character.
Yeah.
Maybe somebody up front, 2 in the back.
Like we mean the back, like staying out of the like staying out of the deal, like the trade. So maybe like they're somewhere away. Is that what you mean?
Yeah, I mean within a short distance, but not too close to each other.
Like kind of like maybe
case.
hidden behind a trees or something, or like hidden behind like the corner of the building, but close.
I mean, we could have. I mean, who's hacker, right? You control Blurfly.
Actually, that's a math magician. That's even up there.
Yeah.
He's a control blurbs. Yeah.
Oh, okay. So yeah, maybe the one who controls blurbs can be kind of hidden.
And like have a blurb maybe kind of like nearby.
Yeah.
Have it ready to do its thing.
Since you mentioned it, actually, don't forget even I gave you that stinger module.
Yes.
Yeah.
So it can actually attack if need be.
Sean, do you have anything you want to do? Any ideas for the meet?
So we're trying to get in there without.
Well, it's an outdoor area. You don't get into there. I mean, it's just outside a memorial statue in a parking lot, or like at the edge of a parking lot.
Yeah. Um, not right now. I'm just gonna kind of like, so I have my like hoodie sweatshirt, and I just like pull it up over my head.
All right. And so who's actually going forward and standing near the standing at the drop spot or at the meat spot?
Okay.
I guess that's me.
It's you. Okay, cool. All right. Okay. All right. That's actually appropriate. Okay. What about even Hack? Y'all gonna be up there with him, or y'all staying back, or what?
I'll probably be like 20 feet away.
Okay. Like maybe like around a corner of a building or something, or like behind something.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
Cool.
I'll be a short bit away too, but in a slightly different spot than Hack.
Yes. Right. Okay. And what is your blurb doing? Blurfly doing?
It's just sort of loitering in the air somewhere above, ready to swoop in and activate.
I assume that blurb flies tend to use patterns, right? I mean, because they're kind of like bugs in that way.
Yeah.
So they have hover heights. So I imagine they're programmed most of the time to like hover like above human height and move and do their things. And like in high dense areas, they probably like move up as far as certain increments, as far as, and so like swoop down when they want to harass people basically and start slamming them with blurbs and things. So like if you just had your blurb like hovering at like say 10 feet up and just kind of whizzing around, it just looks like an annoying blurb fly, you know.
That's the goal. Yes.
Yeah. Cool. All right. Sweet. All right. Just adding a little fluff in there for you to kind of explain.
Well,
things.
yeah, because those are new.
Right. Right. Okay. So you're at the meet, Weaver. You're up at the front. You got the duffel bag in hand. How does your character feel right now? Is he like how is the situation weighing on him?
I'm a little bit nervous, but I'm trying not to show it.
Yeah.
Just kind of like hands in my pockets, acting all cool, like waiting for this to go down and just be on our way. But inside, I'm actually worried that it might not go down as smooth as I want it to go.
Right. Right. Okay. Sweet. Yeah. So you're sweating a little bit, you know, holding this duffel bag, standing in a spot, and you see three figures approaching you. And you, well, yeah, I'll say you all recognize the tattoos. These are the purgers. And that was your experience point for the GM intrusion, by the way. You got the mate. It was just with the people you didn't want it with. So
wow, so appropriate.
Yeah, and so they're approaching, and you see three gutter punks with tattoos and humans, of course, because they're modist, and they've got various like one's got dreadlocks and he's kind of hairy all over and muscular, and the other ones are more lean but with mohawks and stuff, and they approach and they see you standing there, and one of them immediately recognizes you, Weaver. All right, and he says,
"All right,
what? Is Parker dealing drugs now?"
leave Parker out of this. He's got nothing to do with this. You want the drugs or not?
I know you, bro. You just play guitar.
I know you know me.
You just play guitar, man. That's all you do. Maybe play the limbic splitter.
Really?
But I don't see a limbic splitter. You can't stop me in my tracks. I can have the drugs and the money.
I wouldn't do that way. We can just play nice, put our differences aside. You take the thing, I get the thing. We both, go back to our beds and sleep comfortably.
Okay. That's what we're gonna do. Difficulty 7, because they want to hurt Parker in some way, right? Given recent news. Difficulty 7 to persuade these guys to do otherwise. All right. So You can potentially reduce it by 2. You have all social interactions, increase skill, and you have you can spend effort. You can potentially reduce by 2. What do you want to do?
Let me see what my other item does. Other than palm filters, I don't think that helps right
Your
now.
other
My other cipher.
napalm filters?
Hmm.
I'd have to
Mhm.
look up napalm filters. I don't really know offhand.
I don't think that does anything.
Sounds hot.
An inexpensive cigarette with a green filter sold individually. Lighting up a napalm filter provides an asset on any situation where positive social interaction is called for. So you basically offer him a napalm filter.
I could just light it up for myself.
Well, yeah, I guess you could, but I think that's the intention of it is that you're. I think the intention is that you're sharing it. Does that make sense in the text?
Sure thing. Sure
You
thing.
know,
Yeah,
like,
that's good. Let me
yeah,
just like one toke.
nice. Okay, so all right, so he goes. He looks around. He thinks about it for a moment. Now you're gonna still have to roll, but you get an asset.
Sure
Okay,
thing.
so do you want to spend effort and everything and reduce it by 3 levels? You want to do the whole shebang?
I think so.
This is
Is
difficulty
it
7.
intellect task?
Yeah, it's an intellect task, difficulty 7. So reducing by
I
3
think I
will
I think
keep
I
it at
can
12.
I think I can apply 2 levels of effort because I have an
Not in
edge
tier 1, you
on
can't.
intellect.
Not on tier 1, you can't. Max you can
Oh.
do is effort is 1 in tier 1. Yeah. It goes up with every level you go up. Yeah. Bummer.
Yeah, let's do
Yeah.
it. Let's do
Okay.
it.
So that will be
What could
2
happen?
assets on Fantasy Grounds, how it works. And let's go. Nope. Okay, so that's a roll of 3, unfortunately. With a cigarette. So he takes your
Damn.
cigarette, he takes your napalm filter, and he takes a big giant drag from it. Right? A big giant drag from it. And which means half the cigarette filter is gone at this point. And then he looks at it and he just takes the other half and just shoves it in his mouth and eats it. And then they just because he's like part robo. Well, no, he's not part robo. Sorry, he's just like a tough guy. You know, he's a tough guy. And he puts it in his mouth and he chews it around for a minute and he spits it back out at you. And then this is pretty much this is gonna go down. He's gonna try to take your money. So I want you guys to roll initiative, please.
Again, I'm bad at that.
I know.
It's okay. Hopefully, I'll be good at it again.
4. Jesus.
Oh,
That's not good.
4. Who got the 20? Oh.
that was from before.
Oh. For some reason it didn't change yours. You got a 3? Yeah, okay, so we got a 3 and it didn't change his either. Weird. And Weaver, let's roll his initiative. He has a disadvantage to this. That makes it a 10. Well, he still got better than y'all. And
Yeah,
we're going to
that's
throw
better than
in 3 ruffians. Nah, we'll make them. They're not ruffians. They're not that badass. They're not that good at their job. They roll terrible, though, initiative. So, Weaver,
Ooh.
what do you do, man? He takes that cigarette. I'm assuming he put it out on his arm before he, like, swallowed it or something. I should have described that. But, like, he did a badass move and swallowed it and spit it out at you, or, like, chewed it up and spit it out at you, and then it's obvious that they're about to threaten you, right? They're drawing weapons, and that's what they're going to do on their actions and stuff. What do you do, man? You're right in the front.
Yeah, that's bad time for my headphones to die.
Oh, man. Damn, that sucks. So your initiative, Weaver, in case you didn't hear me with your headphones.
Yeah, I can barely hear you. It's cool though.
Okay.
I have no clue what to do because I don't think I have a weapon. Did I bring my guitar with me?
You're muted, Shane.
Yeah, sorry, I was trying to unmute it. It wouldn't work. Yeah, you got your guitar. Although I will say, if you roll a 1, I'm going to break that son of a bitch. But it's a good
Go for
weapon.
it.
I'll say it's a. You know what? I'll call it a medium weapon. I'll call it a medium weapon. And since you play guitar, I'll say you're proficient in it. But it's you shouldn't do this every scene though. I mean, if you do this every scene, I'm gonna break the damn thing. But I'll let you have it this scene. So
Yeah, I'll grab it and wait for something to happen with it, I guess.
what do you mean you got it maybe on a sleeve, like on your thing? It's obvious something's gonna happen. You don't want to just take the advantage and smash somebody. I mean, they're drawing knives. You don't draw knives unless you want to stab somebody. You know what I mean?
Let's say an uppercut, but
Yeah,
with
so
a
you like want
guitar.
to draw the guitar and like swing it up and slam them in the face with it.
Oh yeah,
Okay. All right.
Tiger
So
Woods style.
yeah. So make a speed task. Your speed unfortunately right now is pretty shite because you took a hit earlier. Well, you guys could have taken a recovery roll while you were on your way over. I should have explained that, but if you guys want to say you did, you could have. Did y'all take 10-minute breather on the train and get a recovery roll? Okay. So everyone roll recovery roll, please, and we'll see what you get. Okay, so you get 5, Weaver. You get 5. Looks like you can put you can either bring your might back up to full, Weaver, or you can bring up both speed and might a little bit. What do you think?
Yeah, I think speed and might. So
Okay.
3.
So 3 towards speed, get up to full, and then 2 towards might. All right. Yeah, if that speed's high enough, you can try to avoid dying. You know. So.
Yeah.
All right. Okay. So, Weaver, make an attack roll. You can apply effort to this if you want to. If not, then we'll just keep rolling d20s. What do you think?
Yeah, I mean, I don't know if I have training with medium weapons, so since that puts
You
me
can
in a disadvantage.
yeah. We'll say it's light. We'll say it's light because actually I was just thinking about that because you don't have training with medium weapons, and plus it's a guitar. It's not made to be hit with. You know, it's large and cumbersome, but it's not made to be hit with. So if you have training in light weapons, then you won't take a penalty with this. Sound good?
Okay.
All right.
But yeah, let me just do the might effort.
You want to do an effort on the
Yeah.
swing? All right. Okay. All right. This will be so that's going to be a 2 instead of a 1, which is what you need to get. So you did hit with your guitar. So that's 4 damage to one of them. Okay, so the one at the front takes a hit. You hear his jaw crack, but he is still standing. He's reeling backwards, but he is still standing. It is their action, unfortunately, and he's going to try to get revenge. Okay, so now the way I do it, guys, everybody does different on Cyber System as far as groups and stuff. Some GMs make you roll for each individual attack on you from an enemy. I group attacks together because of effort. So essentially, what'll happen is if you're getting attacked by three ruffians by yourself, the difficulty of the ruffians in defending against it will go up by 1 for every ruffian. But you only get hit by 1 attack. Okay. I'll give a +1 for every other guy attacking you. That's what I'm leaning towards right now. So do you want to try to? It's going to be a difficulty 4 to not get hit by these guys. What do you want to do? Anything you want to add to this, Weaver? You want to try to use effort not to die or get beat up?
Yeah, I guess I should.
I will say this: you've taken some might effort, so your health is not very good. So right now, all right. So you want to try to use? Let's use some speed. So I'll reduce it to 7, and you need to roll a 9 or higher. Look at that! You rolled a 20. Look at that.
Yeah.
Roll a 20. Okay, so I'll let you. What kind of major effect happens when this ruffian attacks you and you do so well at defending against him? What happens? You want to describe it and maybe come up with something cool?
Hmm. Hmm. I wanted to take advantage of that and use it as an intimidation for the other ones not to keep doing what they're doing. Maybe finish this nice and smooth.
Yeah.
Kind of, yeah. I just want to keep trying to talk it out.
Okay, but you're intimidating. Are you using intimidation? Or are you just you still trying to calmly discuss it?
Yeah,
Okay.
because I suck at
I'll say
intimidation.
this. You saw it coming with a knife. And I'm gonna throw you even a better bone. You just maybe you put your arm up at the right time and you hit him in a certain way and then he drops the knife. And then maybe you're like, because you did so well, right? Maybe that opens up the dialogue. And what do you say? Like, what kind of thing do you say to try to interject here?
I could be like, I I don't think you heard me well. We just want to do the deal and go our separate ways. We don't want this to get ugly. I'm tired, dude. Come on.
I love the. You know what? I love the tired dude. Uh. Hmm. Hmm. Oh man, I'm trying to decide if I'm gonna let because they're difficulty 2 is what they are. You're trained in it, and I'll say I'll let you roll. I'll let you roll because I'm already letting you kind of roll out of turn. Right? It's not your turn, but I'll let you roll. If this gets under a 3 though, you fail. So odds are pretty high. We'll see how it goes. Oh yeah. Okay. So like it's like now disarmed. The leader stumbles backwards, and he says, "Put down the bag."
Putting it.
You put it down.
Yeah, I can just like put it down right beside me.
Okay. And then he says, "Tell Parker his time is up, mate."
Why you gotta be like that?
And then he tosses you a wad full of cash, wad full of quids.
All right, I'll put it in my pocket.
Do you continue that line of thought anymore? Then why you gotta be like that? Because he doesn't answer you. But do you continue that thought?
Yeah, yeah. Just kind of complain to the wind, like, see,
Oh,
I
like
tried to
when
whip
you
it
turn your
first.
back, maybe.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay.
Like out loud, so I know he's hearing.
Oh, okay. What do you say? Like, what's your complaint to the wind? Because if he can hear you, I need to know what you say.
It's like, I'm like, finally, come on, like, let's go. Need to go.
Okay.
Need to eat. I'm hungry.
Okay. Cool. Cool. Yeah, it is about dinner time. Okay. All right. Sweet. So you guys, but you did have to trade the cash, of course. You know, but you got rid of the drugs and you got the cash for Seamus, the Robo Man. So, and so you meet with Seamus again in the warehouse, like the back docks of the warehouse behind the pharmaceutical building, right? And he says, he looks at Weaver and Even and says, so how's things go?
Smooth as butter.
All right, good. Well, here, look, I've got your case ready, and he shows you the a small case of some off the truck illegal drugs, and he says, look, it's It's not worth a whole lot, but it's something, yeah.
Everybody's got to
Yeah,
start
this will
somewhere.
And Sean, I'm assuming you give him the £100.
Yeah.
All right. He says, pleasure doing business. Again, maybe? Yeah. And then he just takes his cash and he gets in his truck and he kind of like side waves and then drives off. Yeah. All right. So you guys got the stuff, and so it'll be interesting. We did start late, unfortunately, a little bit late, but unfortunately we're getting close to wrapping time. We got a hard 11 o'clock. But we can discuss briefly what are you guys thinking as far as selling this stuff, right? Like, what are you? Because I mean, obviously it's not revenue until it's sold.
Mm-hmm.
That was step 2.
Yeah, you said we'll deal with that later, and then
Yeah,
now
exactly.
later is here.
Uh,
I actually have a suggestion, because I didn't disclose what the drug was, so we can work together as a group and narratively talk about it. But maybe you could do something like Weaver maybe plays his first like club event, and one of you passes out drugs in the crowd, like X or something, basically, like Vurt X.
Okay.
What?
no, I don't know. We need another social character so that Weaver can play the music
Oh
while
yeah,
somebody else actually
the other
makes
section
the
has gone
action.
very the other section has gone very towards what do you call it? Talking. Yeah, unfortunately.
What? No, not unfortunately, because we
Yeah,
didn't get our asses handed
yeah,
to it.
I mean that's true. Well, that's the thing. People in Cyber System, they think that when they lose their might, or they're dying, right? But you've got debilitated and impaired, and those things. Well, you got impaired, and before you go down to 0, so it doesn't mean it's over just because you take some licks, But you guys did avoid some nasty like scenes, because I was like the Robo Dogs when I threw them at you. I forgot they were level 5, and I was like, fuck, they may have to run from this. It's like shit. So, and then when I did it, I was like, hey, they're coming for the ways not to die. Yay, good for them. So.
Yeah, that pure Vurt flesh just boom.
Yeah, and I actually didn't like go over on that one. Like that's the way it is in the books. Right? That shit that basically sends your mind immediately to the Vurt. Like you get high as shit from straight Vurt flesh, pure Vurt flesh.
Yeah, I saw it and I knew the Robo Krusty was gonna get it.
Yeah.
I just it's you can't help it.
And a lot of this stuff you can learn from the book too. The role playing game book too. It talks about this stuff, so you don't have to read the novel to understand it. But
Right.
so you guys do have some drugs. Maybe it'll score you some cash, and I'll say it's not a high value drug. It's not the kind of drug that you're just gonna be able to, make moolah, like tons of cash off of. But you're gonna make like towards the repair of the machinery, some change.
Exactly.
So what are you guys thinking as far as just to getting it out there and getting it sold? What are you thinking?
So how much, like how many dollars?
How much is this drug worth?
Yeah, like street value.
Do you know? I mean, make an insight test. I'll say it's difficulty 3 to know.
Okay. That's just a straight intellect.
Yeah.
D20 or whatever.
Yeah. You don't have any clue. You've never sold this kind of drug. Hell, you've never taken it.
Well, we got to find out because we're gonna get ripped. We have no idea. It's worth.
I think it's hilarious that there might be another scene where Even calls Seamus back up and says, "So, what should we sell this at? like how much should I sell this for?" Because you're just so like newbie at it. You're just like,
Yeah, but
Um,
I think that with the right kind of like ambiance and setting and music, anything can be sold for anything.
Yeah, yeah. Especially if you got like a limbic splitter and you got everybody in the mood and everybody's just bowing to the waves of the music. Yeah.
Oh, okay, what is this limbic splitter? I have not read this part.
Okay, yeah, it's essentially you use music, the power of musicology to influence people mentally.
Oh, okay.
So it's better than just like giving someone a high from the music. Like it makes them
Yeah,
fully enthralled by the music in a way. So,
Cool.
and
it
it's
makes
usually
the
in
jam
DJ
there.
machines. It's usually in DJ machines, but sometimes you can hook it to something else. Like he's wanting to make it add it to a guitar. So,
All right.
like hook a limbic splitter to a guitar. So, but that's going to take learning how to build one and match one up to a guitar and get a decent guitar to match it to and that kind of stuff. But you guys don't have one, so you'd have to use like a house one if you did this route. But yeah. So, any other ideas, or is that kind of what you guys are leaning towards?
I could always, I don't know, it'd be kind of difficult because we have no idea how much it's worth, but try to sell it on like the deep web or something like that.
Well, you can have that conversation, Jeremy. Did you want to call Seamus and be like, "Dude, we're totally fuck ups. How much I sell this for?"
Yes,
Yeah.
but that's basically what I would lead with.
Okay. All right. Okay, he tells
How
you
much
you're
is
gonna
this
get
worth?
about if you're conservative and you just price it at like normal pricing, you're gonna get about 750 quid off of all this.
Mhm.
So you're getting close to your marker for getting the
Cool.
machinery, like a repair parts. You're getting close. I'll say you could hit your 1,000, but DJ Weaver or whoever is selling the drugs, people involved in the event of this will have to roll really well or roll effort and that sort of stuff. Does
We
that make sense? Yeah.
we just need to find the people who are as dumb about this stuff as I am,
Yeah. There
and
you go. There you
then
go.
we can fleece them.
And it's a good time to also mention, since we're wrapping up, we're talking about things in the session. All of you gained 1 experience point, and I'm going to award 2 more experience points to each of you for completing the session and working towards your goal. Uh, Normally, experience points are usually given for feathers and stuff, but if you're telling a story that's not really about feathers, then you need to give them for pursuing goals. So, but feathers are still one of your best ways of getting experience points. I will try to do better next session about the GM intrusions to make it more interesting, but I've got to get myself in the mindset of Cypher System. I don't run this, so I'm getting in the swing of it. But what I was saying is that you all have experience now. You can use that experience to get rerolls on stuff. That's your most common way of using short-term, immediate XP. So there are other benefits of XP, like moving towards your tier increase, but people tend to use them a lot on rerolls because the game can be kind of dangerous. So,
Yeah.
but also, like we've seen before, an entire situation can be de-escalated with just a good roll. So, yeah, so it's worth it. So, okay, so each of you now have 3 experience, and there is no difference between long-term experience and regular experience. So, not everyone tiers up at the same time. If they want to, they can, but not everyone does. So, all right. So next game, basically, we're trying to sell a bunch of drugs, correct?
Yes.
Okay.
Yay.
Cool. And also too, what about the purist problem? What about that? It's funny, you're selling drugs to pay for a greenhouse to buy food. I'm sorry, to grow food. It's like an altruistic thing, but you're doing something pretty shitty to do it, So,
We're using the available ideas that we had.
yeah.
We're
Yes.
gonna what we got.
Yep. The ends justify the means, if you will. Yeah. Okay. So we appreciate everyone for watching. Thank you for joining with us. We're gonna try to do better next time. I apologize for the stream when we first started with the audio. Yeah, I don't have anything else to say other than my bad. I'll cut it down so all that mess is missing, and No one has to watch through that. More than half the time, I think I do fuck ups like that. Eventually, I'll get it right, I guess. No, not half. But, anyways, so we're gonna close it out. We're playing next Sunday. Unfortunately, we're changing the time. It's gonna be on Sundays normally. This was just Saturdays because of people's work and life and that kind of thing. So yeah, so thank you everyone for watching. We'll be back next Sunday. Not tomorrow, next Sunday after that. 8 p.m. Central Standard Time, 6 p.m. Pacific, 9 p.m. Eastern. Yep. Yes. So, all right. Well, hope to see you all then. Thank you. Bye.